let's call the meeting to order. The second part of this is adjustments to this agenda. Any?
Nothing for me.
Nothing?
Nope.
Okay. And then there's nobody else on here from the public?
No,
All
not
right.
right now.
And the approval of minutes from the previous meeting.
And I apologize, I think I just sent those out like an hour ago, and this time I'm typing the minutes right into my computer, and then I just have to hit send, and no problems.
That's okay.
Do we have a requirement?
We have a 5-day, they have to be posted within 5 days.
So we'll have to vote on these the next time.
Yeah, we can vote on it for the next time. Yeah, because I think OSA should be a part of it, and I have to move away from
That's not big.
Brian. So yeah, so then want to talk about I think it was one of Kathy, your topics of prevention.
Yeah, it was just something that we talked about at the last meeting, or it was kind of towards the end of the last meeting, and I thought it would be good to keep on the agenda, but we could do the other things first, like
Lockers, yeah.
Yeah, lockers.
Yeah,
let's talk lockers, because Dan, didn't you send out some really good info about that?
so
Yes.
I put together just like the bare skeleton of a policy, just kind of what the next steps might be. Obviously, I think we're kind of like, we need to identify organizations within downtown Barre that would be participating. I did go look at the lockers a few weeks ago. Like they're really big. Again, they're in sets of 3. They're quite large. You can certainly put like camping equipment in there. It'd be perfect for folks. Tomorrow I'm talking to a gentleman that my friend connected me with, who's kind of like a handy person, a problem solver with, tools and such, which is not my skill set. And we're going to look at the lockers in the next week or so and just get ideas about what would be needed to, let's say, weatherize them, because they will be outdoors. What it would take to move them, to connect them to a building, or some kind of structure. Kind of logistically think through I think some of the physical challenges, right? But then we also have this broader question of like putting together a policy that would work for Barre City and for the folks who need this, to make sure we don't have like people misusing the system, or rotting food in a locker and such. And I think the policy is going to be just as important as like, how do we actually physically do this, And is that Osa?
Yeah.
Yay.
On it.
Hey, Osa. We were just talking about the lockers. Yeah, so I was telling him I went to check out the lockers. They're huge.
You can sit anywhere. Or you can grab one for the end, wherever you want, Rosa.
Cool.
It's too late in the day to make decisions.
Yeah.
Plus, I went through the other building.
Oh, no, sorry.
I lost my pen.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're actually right in there.
I don't know if you need it.
Oh, no, I have.
And one of my questions is about the lockers. Is I know we're talking about it, looking at them and trying to figure it out, but has anybody presented the city with what's the rule around that, and can we do it? And because I just don't want us to put all this effort and then find out we can't.
No, I agree. And my view is that while this is work that's being spearheaded by this committee, it's work that will be carried out by nonprofits and likely faith communities here in Barre, and that it won't be city resources or anything like that. and really kind of were the organizing brain of this, you know? So I'd be fine if folks feel it just from a procedural standpoint, maybe we should update, you know, the city council or something like that, but I don't feel like we need to seek approval, but I could be, if someone feels differently. You know?
I agree with that. I
And
feel-
then I think waiting that a little bit farther down the road before you.
Before we have more details, you know, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
And we did bring this up at the last luncheon.
yeah,
Just as an idea, a lot of the faith community was there, at least the leaders, and. I don't know, it seemed like folks around the table were like, oh, like maybe we could, you know,
Yeah.
sort of thinking like maybe we could do that if it wasn't all of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
if it was just a portion
Yeah.
of it, yeah.
right, they come in these nice groups of three, so, yeah, I
Yeah.
could see three behind the People's Clinic, maybe
Yeah.
three over at Down Street, and, you know.
Yep.
So I think that's probably the next step is kind of,
Yeah.
talking to some folks and just seeing if they're willing to sign up and say, yeah, we'd be interested in doing, you know, or hearing more about this. And then, me and this gentleman who a friend introduced me to will go check out the lockers and I can report back and kind of like what he thinks is like logistically possible about, you know, taking them down, moving them, installing them, possibly weatherizing them, you know. So,
Do you think if they were, and I know I'm talking about the city as opposed to just sort of nonprofits,
yeah,
but. Do you think, the city would consider like over near the. Like the police station, the fire department, like over on the side of that? I don't know, it just feels like it's paved, it's well kept, it's generally lit.
mhm.
So, and would people use them there, or would it feel like a deterrent for folks?
Right,
Which is
right.
also the other question, but,
I think some would and some wouldn't.
I mean, which is kind of okay. Maybe
Right.
some folks would feel safer using one there than they would in other places.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that'd be great to have the city as like a partner too, you
Yeah.
know,
And not the sole,
and not the
site,
soul at
but-
all, but
but-
like one of, yeah, because I think we do need, that's a whole different part of town than kind of like, you know, where I'm set up and, you know, so, yeah.
Sounds good. All right, so do we go back to prevention or do we go to the next one?
I think that's the prerogative of the chair.
So let's talk with partnering with Restore.
Yeah.
Of a more of a conversation and an update. I think back, we were gonna talk about this and I don't think we touched complete base on it. I just was wondering, and I don't mind reaching out because we work with so many homeless individuals. Like, you know, would they help with stuff for us? Like when winter comes, you know, sometimes they have stuff that might be available for us.
Yeah,
What's
so
your guys-
I totally support it, and I think that's a great idea. I will note that, like at my clinic, we've reached out to, and I love Restore, I'm there every Saturday morning, you know.
You are.
So. My staff has worked with them, so we get their water bottles in the summer, we give out like, you know, we wash the water bottles and we fill them out on hot days and give them out. And like, they're really into it when we can get their attention, but it's sometimes hard to get their attention. You know, phone calls will go unanswered, emails will go unanswered. And I know right now, just today, when my staffers is like, I haven't been able to get a hold of them. I think I might just go down there. So that's the one thing I'll note. I feel like sometimes you might just have to like show up and be like, the manager, you know, so.
I have a similar
Right.
experience. I was trying to just sign up for their program where you can even purchase, but you purchase,
Oh.
say, $10 and you get $15, whatever. You know, being a nonprofit, being, you know, working with the population we work with, and I I just kept running into like, no answers, no responses to emails or voice. Or, and talk over and see what you can come up with.
So, and did you want to?
I'll reach out. I don't mind.
Restore, regular as well? I haven't seen you there, Ann.
I love going there. I love it. So
Okay,
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little lag off you guys. Like it's taking a while for it to catch up. So,
We're getting a little lag on this end too, so yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you were frozen a minute ago.
Yeah.
and so didn't you guys, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And then the next one was, I felt like it was been a few months and I was just thinking about emailing Zach and trying to get them Montpelier to come again. I just think it would be good to partner with them on trying to update them where we're at, what are they doing, you know, what can we do as a group to help, whatever we may think of.
Yeah,
Also Montpelier recently, I think a lot of folks here have been at meetings where they've talked about it, but recently had a meeting specific to homelessness in the city, and it was meant to be like, I don't know, an hour or something, and it was like 4 hours. Yeah. You were there for the whole thing.
can you give us a report? That's less than 5 hours long. We could also do it offline if you want, but
I mean, you can watch the whole thing on YouTube.
that's what I was trying to avoid, actually.
Oh, yeah. Probably ask Chat GPT.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's right. Please summarize this for me.
Summarize, yeah. A whole bunch of providers came at the beginning and talked about what they do with the homeless population
Yeah.
as a support. A few folks that are experiencing homelessness showed up once in a while.
Yeah.
It created ruckus and it's great. In my opinion, it really was great because it shows like you need to invite them to this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a lot of talking and I don't remember all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heated, would that be like a?
No, actually, no.
Okay.
Didn't talk enough about, in my opinion, didn't talk enough about what the actual situation was or like, you know, is in Montpelier and actually go over things. It seemed like you should watch.
Oh, I guess so, okay.
I'm gonna get myself in trouble and
Okay.
say real things
No.
on a recorded.
Sorry to put you in this position.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read more about it, so, yeah.
What I had heard was mostly that there was a lot of the talk is kind of good to get the thing started, but
Yeah.
that it was also not exactly solutions oriented.
Mhm.
Like, what are we going to do? There were
Yeah.
suggestions from what I heard, but also like there was,
A lot of like rounds talking, so like it started and ended in the same exact spot as when the
Right.
first conversation started.
4+ hours later.
Yeah.
For hours, yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it almost reminds me of like 2 years ago when we had that public meeting at the church, right? That kind of like was right before this committee got
Referenced that a billion.
really, yeah.
Yeah, and the like Montpelier folks went to. Like the homeless task force, I don't think they
Yep.
went to the school and had like a big meeting at the school so the kids and adults could ask
Wow.
questions. And city council folks kept referencing that and being like, we should do that, but I think it happened once.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't a time where I could just be like, yes, it totally happened. You couldn't talk during that moment, so
Yeah.
it was frustrating.
Are you talking about the church one where it's at the Barre Congregational
Yeah,
Church? That one,
yeah, that one, right,
That was,
yeah, that
Yeah.
was heated, yeah.
That was good.
it
It
was
was,
good.
it was a lot of catharsis and a lot
Yeah.
of things came out of it.
Yep.
Like this committee, you know,
Mhm.
so. Okay, so that sounds like, Anne, were you gonna reach out to Zach?
Yeah, I'll reach out to Zach and, hopefully get them to come to our next meeting. So the next one is,
Ooh,
Lost you there.
next one is prevention. That's our last agenda item.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, at the end of the last meeting, we started to have a conversation about, of course, we have to deal with the situation as it is now, but like, what are things that the city itself could potentially do? Like, we're on this committee for the city. What could the city potentially do to work on the prevention side of this? So we just had like a really basic initial conversation right at the end, and then maybe after the meeting ended for just a little bit, and we had talked about getting together not necessarily as this committee or but just sort of getting together with folks who are interested in talking more about that. And it would be, what could the city do, but what could anybody do to try to work on the prevention side of things? Not enough state money goes into prevention, very, very little, frankly. It's just the HOP grant process, which is very prescribed. It's not nimble enough to deal with things like someone who has a temporary disability or a partner who passes away, and they need a little bit of like a subsidy to get through so they don't get foreclosed on, but they're going to be good in like 4 months, and like all of those things that happen, just life that happens.
Yeah.
And if the powers that be, whoever they are, had some funding to put behind some of those one-of unique situations, it would avoid us continuing to add to the rolls of folks who become homeless, which costs a hell of a lot more in the long run. For everything, yeah.
Yep, yep.
So that was
I
it,
like-
sorry, just, I
No,
think,
no.
I think it doesn't have to be this committee, because it technically doesn't. If we're talking about the Unhoused Community Committee, you know, we're talking about avoiding that maybe, but it maybe isn't just for this committee, but it was just a conversation that I wanted to make sure that the rest of the committee heard about, because I don't think we were all there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a very
I-
good.
I think prevention is a good idea. I think we should look at it again and see how we want to go about it.
Yeah,
And maybe add it to next month's agenda and see what Montpelier's thought about that too.
yeah, the thought was, if we could develop something that felt like it was something that could be replicated in other towns, in other organizations, doesn't have to be a town, but you know, like whatever, cities, towns, organizations. Like maybe we could fix the world, right? But you know, maybe we could come up with something that could be tweaked for individual purposes in various organizations. You know, like if your employer had a small pot of money that they put aside to help folks who are in their employ avoid becoming homeless, that would continue to have them be super productive employees. You know, it doesn't have to be municipalities, but I do think municipalities could get behind something like that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So who's taking notes, Dan?
I'm taking notes.
You want to just make sure that we add that to next month's agenda?
Yeah.
Thank you. Does anybody have any you want to add to the agenda or respond to?
I'd be interested in just those of us around the room who are doing some of the work in this area, seeing what's happening. You've got the situation table represented,
Yeah.
you know, People's Health and Wellness, Good Sam, Down Street, the city, you know, like what are we seeing after the April? And as it's continuing with folks having to exit hotels, you know, using up their days, not just the hotel exits, but all of those things. What are we seeing this? I think it probably is a decent time to do an
Yeah.
update in my mind.
Do we know how many people were exited in April? A roundabout number?
No,
No?
Yeah.
No, I don't know anymore.
it wasn't a huge amount like April 1. There was a chunk of, I'm not saying it's negligible, but it was like in the 20s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That folks that on April 1 were completely out of days.
And then it was staggered, wasn't it? Like.
It's staggered. We still have folks, we have somebody that runs out on Sunday. We've had folks in the past 3 weeks that have, you know, sort of intermittently
Okay.
here and there just run out of days. And between now and mid-June, it will be, unless folks find other options, it will be everybody who was in over the winter losing, you know, being
Yep.
out
Yep.
and not having any more days available to them. So how's that like sugaring out and land and, you know, like, yeah,
a lot more intense this year in a lot of ways than in the past years. We've had several cases with children. And really intense ones, requiring a lot of support, but also like causing chaos where they're replaced and not by myself. And just a lot of extra stress on street outreach and not as much equipment as we've had in the past, so a lot of like, I'm really sorry, I don't have a tent for you. I don't have a tarp for you, I don't have a sleeping bag for you, here's a really tiny fleece blanket. So if you wanna donate to street outreach, please do,
So, camping equipment is in high demand this season, right? So tents, sleeping bags, mats, like all that kind of stuff, tarps.
tarps,
Yeah.
blankets.
Okay, okay.
Are you noticing this spring, I would say we've no beauty in terms of like acuity, coming out of the winter than last. We were very new in this. Are you noticing that out there? Like the tensions feel different this spring? It just feels a little different to me.
Yeah, it definitely feels different out there too. Folks outside are like the folks that have pretty consistently stayed outside over the winter are seeming restless in a lot of ways, especially with like their knowledge of how many folks are being exited from more permanent spaces. There's been a lot more like elderly and mentally and physically like disabled in different ways, individuals that have been released and are in
Yes.
tents and situations that are
Well, also,
hard to get out of.
I keep hearing about this threat of people being moved off of the main property that
Yeah.
a lot of people are doing, and I haven't heard that that's become a reality, but it's,
Currently a reality. It's an AOT situation. A lot
Yeah.
of them are.
so they're living with, it's only a matter of time,
Yeah,
and
and that's a lot of stress for.
it's very stressful.
Too, because some of those folks have been there for a very long time.
Mhm.
Where folks can pretty much consistently stay in their campsite, not get moved along or
Yep.
anything. While other towns around it are pretty consistent on how they need to move along, whether it's with like a notice or just, oh, you came back to your tent site and there's nothing there anymore. So it's been a lot of that, and also like equipment not being kept and stuff by whoever's removing it, to say it very politely.
So they're just pulling the equipment and ditching it instead of holding it long enough for somebody to come pick it up.
All of the personal belongings that are in the equipment, so everything just gets trashed. Yeah, it's just a lot. Yeah. For the individuals, but also for the service providers.
It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
What do we think about maybe bringing this up also with the Montpelier people so that we can maybe together, my thought, I don't know if anybody else was thinking this, is maybe making some flyers and handing them out to help get some supplies for Good Samaritan. So it helps.
Yeah.
So I have a thought, if I may, about when you talk about that, where their stuff is getting rounded up. And, you know, how many people have you dealt with that don't have their IDs? And don't have, and don't have the stuff? And it seems to me it might be a good idea to have a campaign to help people. We've helped people get their IDs, but whether they keep them or get them taken away, by having a campaign to, and maybe they do this in another way, but copy everything.
Yeah,
And put it in
the way sometimes does it.
Yeah, But I think maybe it probably would be great to have it be more of a very concerted campaign. So that, I mean, people just like, like I keep my, and then it's gone. And
Yeah.
now you're out of luck.
Yeah.
For anything because you don't have your ID.
So,
And we could probably, and then just one more thing, and we might be able to think about doing that for things that are if they've got photographs or something that once they're gone, but copying them, just having a safe place for them. I don't know if people want to give up that information, huh?
Like lockers.
Like lockers,
Not that I.
but not everybody gets that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Tess, just, sorry, you were gonna.
oh, go ahead.
Just to explore, especially I understood your idea, like, are we talking about like one central, like, let's say it's another way or something like that? would
Another
have
way
some kind of
in
like
Montpelier, Good
physical,
Samaritan and Barre.
safe database where someone can go there and be like, yeah, my camp was just destroyed. I lost my birth certificate,
Mhm.
family photos, and they hopefully would, because this person had copies made, have some kind of storage to, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we should be able to find an organization that's willing to host cloud storage. That is a relatively minimal cost to an organization in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not a tech person, but I can't imagine that costs a heck of a lot of money. And if we could allow folks to upload it to a particular person who could put it in a file with their name on it.
Yeah, it might have to have certain levels of security.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thinking,
absolutely.
right, yeah,
That is a good idea, though.
because you're talking driver's license numbers probably, and
Social security cards.
numbers, yeah.
I mean, it's
Just
just,
out of curiosity, Osa,
What?
with just out of curiosity, I have a question.
Yeah,
You might be able to answer it because you're the outreach person.
Yeah.
With the increase of people asking to vacate the motels, have you seen other encampments that are forming?
oh yeah, there are people camping in spots I never would have thought of.
Okay,
That
I was wondering.
lasts almost no amount of time. Yeah, or just, there's a person sleeping on the ground in front of Price Chopper, the doors of Price Chopper every night. And I don't have a tent to give her, so that's where she's sleeping. So it's things like that. Yeah, or like a lot of private property is, folks are just going on, and sleeping in different locations and getting asked to move by the police and stuff. Or by the property owner or whatever, yeah.
Anybody have anything else they want to add or update us with?
No, but I'll just say, I'll put the, kind of the digital record, archive idea on the agenda for next month
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
see if we can develop that further, so.
Yep.
I will talk to our tech person, not because I'm thinking we're volunteering, but he may just have some ideas as to what could potentially work for that.
Absolutely, yeah, and so. Who said Another Way does something similar to this, like on a smaller scale?
But again, I think that's physical copies, I don't think. they
Right.
keep
Yeah.
any.
I believe Earl has done it as well.
Yeah.
I know
Making
Earl
physical
recently
copies.
went through this, yeah.
Well, we do it for folks here. We make physical copies and we keep a file for up to 7 years and all of that, but I like the cloud storage idea because physical files get deleted and
Mhm.
It's gonna have to be a really secure situation online because those things often get hacked. And that,
This would,
we could upload to HMIS.
this would probably have to be HIPAA compliant and,
That's why I'm saying
Yeah,
there's,
good.
that's like quadruple type of, for folks who are in that system, which not everybody agrees to go into that system.
I don't know, it's an interesting conversation. I'm all for folks keeping their ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anything else? So our next meeting is at June 17th at 5, and where do we want to hold it?
I mean, this is available. We can go back to the other space if folks like that better. It's fine.
I thought we were gonna move
Either way.
around. It's not the, we discussed last time, we're gonna bounce around for. a little
Great,
bit.
where else is, where's next?
I mean, we could come to the clinic. Oh. What? So the People's Clinic is sponsoring the concert in the park that night.
Oh,
We could hold it at the park. No, just kidding. With a band playing in the background. No, I guess I'm getting my employees to staff the table there. We could meet at the clinic if we wanted to. We have a conference room.
What's the band?
What time is the concert in the park, Dan? Does that start?
It's on June 17th in the evening.
Okay,
Like 4 to 7 or something.
I was thinking about maybe we could move the meeting earlier in case people wanted to go down, but yeah, that's a little cut close.
You don't have to work around me at all, so, yeah.
well, I mean, I can meet earlier that day. I don't know if anybody else can or can't. I can meet anytime from 2 o'clock on that day. If we wanted to do an earlier meeting.
Can too. I mean, I can make it happen.
We just have to alert,
Different time, that's all, yeah.
yeah,
We just have to let them know, right? It's not like we
Yeah.
can't change the time if we.
If we do an earlier time, I would not be able to, actually, I could do 3 to 4, at the clinic. And that would get me out in time for the concert too. Hey, I have to, I'm sponsoring, so I have to like say those things.
no, it's good, it's good.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
Does that
Not like
work
I'm gonna
for
go
the
see
two of
Megadeth or
you
something, you know?
Online, the 2 of you, could you do earlier that day? Yes,
I could do 3 to
Yeah.
3:45 because I have an appointment I have to be at for 4. But I could do like 45 minutes of it.
You guys zip right along, though.
we
We
do.
are pretty efficient.
All right, it's settled.
All right,
Okay.
so,
At my clinic then, right?
Yep.
Okay, great.
all right, so
How's
Yes,
parking
we-
down there when it's,
Oh, yeah,
it's the day of the,
You'll be fine where we are, I
Okay.
think. Yeah,
We can
any of
park on
those
the park.
reserve spots, yeah,
yeah,
we
those
have to lot
reserve
out
spots are
back
fine.
too, so. Yeah, it's been kind of a nightmare this.
yes, do we need to let everybody at the city council know we're gonna do it earlier that day?
I think will we send the minutes in or,
in the agenda.
Or it would be on my agenda anyway, on the agenda.
Yeah,
Okay, is that gonna be sufficient, Tess? I don't wanna do something that we need to let somebody know early.
I guess so. Just put it in there.
Okay,
I'm not the arbiter of.
Okay,
all right,
nice.
so with that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded,
Third.
all in favor? That was more of a statement. We're all in favor.
Yeah, I figured that. All right, so
Good
I'll make up the minutes for next month and let everybody know. I'll get a hold of Zach pretty much right after I get off the call and let him know and see what we can do.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.